May you find happiness and peace, and may your home stand the test of time.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary. Today I'll be reacting to Talking Down the Pro-Abortion, Kristan Hawkins. Well, I've actually reacted to some of her videos before, and let's just watch how this video will unfold, guys. So without further ado, let's get started.
So if someone needs a kidney transplant and there's like only one person on the world that can like provide the kidney, is it still in the government's right to like force that person to give up a kidney? In the same way, like, is it in the government's right to force a woman to like give up her like uterus for 9 months to support a fetus that eventually becomes a human?
That's the violinist argument. The whole thought experiment is you're walking around the streets one day, you get kidnapped, you wake up in a hospital bed, you look down, you're connected with wires to another human being. The Society of Music Lovers has kidnapped you because there's a world famous violinist who's this worldwide treasure and has this debilitating disease. He is going to die, and you are the only person on the face of this earth who can keep him alive. But don't worry, in 9 months he's going to be all good and you can get unhooked, right? That's the whole argument. So, and that's supposed to be analogous to abortion, right? A woman having to give up the space in her uterus for a human being. I think what that analogy, that thought experiment fundamentally lacks is acknowledging the difference between stranger and the woman and the child and the woman. Because unless you're talking about cases of sexual assault, a woman has given consent to get pregnant because she has chosen to engage in a behavior that could result in pregnancy. She may not want to get pregnant, but she knowingly entered into a decision knowing that a consequence of that decision could be the creation of a unique, whole, living human life. So that's actually, when we're talking about that, it's actually like her giving consent and then taking it away and saying, oh, no, just kidding, I'm not going to do that. So I think it's fundamentally different than you or me, like strangers, and what we're morally required to do. I would say that's fundamentally different. I think it would be a very nice thing if you were kidnapped and you gave up 9 months of your life to save another human life. I'm looking at some people in this room, you look like very nice people, you may do it. And some of you don't look so nice, and you'd say, sorry, I like you, stranger, but I'm not giving up 9 months of my life. But that's a fundamentally different relationship than a mother and her own child, because she is already, unless it's, like I said, unless it's a case of sexual assault, she has given consent and has engaged in a behavior. It's also different, too, simply unplugging than actively killing. And I think that's a difference, too. Because in that case, you would be actively just unplug, you would remove your support. And abortion, that child is safe, that child is secure, is growing inside of his or her mother, and you're not just removing your support, you're actively going in with a suction device, with a curette, you're going in with pills to starve, you are going in to intentionally end the life of the human being. It's different.
So also by that standard of like when a woman engages in sexual activity in like a heterosexual relationship, and it's she's like you said, like revoking consent in that aspect, would it then be considered pregnancy as like can be considered like a punishment by that standard? Just like
she may call it punishment. I believe Barack Obama called unintended pregnancy a punishment for his daughters at one point. I would say it's not a punishment because, as I talked about earlier, women are superheroes because we can do 3 things men can't do. Pregnancy is not a punishment. There's punishments and things that happen, consequences, but I would say it's never a punishment, bringing a unique, whole, living human life into an existence. It could be painful, but it's not a punishment.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, guys, Katrin is really a smart lady. I just love how, she gave you the opportunity to ask your question, before, answering it in a sensible way, a way that you will understand. And I think after answering the question, the lady, she was satisfied with the answer. Well, even if I know we are all entitled to our body, we all have control over our body, and the government is not supposed to pass laws that will prevent us from, prevent control over our body. But there are decisions that sometimes need to be taken for us, especially when it comes to abortion. I when she making stance with donating your kidney and abortion, like you give consent for someone to take your kidney. And even after they've taken your kidney, you are still alive. Because, sometimes when you decide to donate your kidney, the doctor will first of all examine you to make sure that your 2 kidneys are functioning well before they will allow you to donate your kidney. Well, that is how I've heard or I've seen that, yes. I've seen it being done. But when it comes to abortion is, except when it's rape, you enjoy yourself, you see, and at the end of the day, you already know the repercussion of what will happen after the enjoyment, which is pregnancy. And so long as you have decided to, be with someone, get pregnant, you should also be able and capable to bring that child into the world. Even if you are not able to take care of the child, at least you should give the child an opportunity to witness this beautiful earth. That is it, because I love the ways the system work outside, in some continents where they check if you are able to take care of your children. If you can't, they will take those children from you and give them to welfare, someone who is, more capable of, taking care of those children for you. And to me, I'll be very happy, you see, because unlike what is happening in other continents whereby you see children in the street begging, in some continents, they make provisions for you. They provide monthly allowance for those children, even if the government are not the one that brought those children here on earth. But still, they make those provisions so that at least as a child, you'll be able to go to school, even if maybe not the best school, but at least you'll be able to go to school. You get the basic education so that when you get to a certain age, you can start providing for yourself. So I don't see any reason why you should deprive a child from having that privilege. At least if it's in Africa, I will understand that based on this the system, the child might suffer. But if you are privileged to have a system that works, and you are complaining about them asking you to keep your child when you're pregnant, or you feel like you want to be in charge of your body, well, we are all in charge of our body, but taking another life is where the limits, where we draw the limits, because you don't just decide for the baby simply because the baby cannot speak, on its own. So you don't have any right to do that. I totally agree with Catherine, and I just love her confidence. You see, I love how prepared she is, how vast she is, how knowledgeable she is, because she already understands this topic, especially this message, about anti-abortion. She don't want anything, and she's ready to answer any question you throw her way, and that is beautiful. When you believe in something and you know how to back your belief with facts. I don't think anyone can, cut you short or make you feel like what you're saying is rubbish. Well, I love this video so much, and for the lady that asked the question, she did a very good job, because, the more questions like this are being asked, the more people will know, and the more she keep on explaining with valid reason why abortion should not be allowed in the society. So one thing is, you don't know what the baby in your womb will be in future. He can be the next president, or he can be maybe a serial killer, we don't know. But at least give the child a chance to decide for themselves. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. If it is the first time visiting my channel, click on the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and remain blessed.